Studies show that 1 in 4 Americans suffers from allergies, and many of those allergies are plant pollen related. Well, here we are in the peak of our fall allergy season, and we're standing beside the culprit of this allergy season, the ragweed family. We have an example of a giant ragweed that's in bloom, and as you can see, if you shake the flowers, the pollen will easily be transmitted by the wind. Some other plants that cause problems this time of year are Johnson grass and our Bermuda grass that we have in our lawns. Well, recently we visited the Oklahoma Allergy Clinic and talked with Dr. John Bozalis, who gave us some helpful information on allergies and how to live with those allergies while we garden.
As in most parts of the country, there are 3 major pollen seasons. One would be spring, when the trees are pollinating, elm, oak, maple, cottonwood, those type of trees. And that's followed on the heels with grass pollen season. And generally that begins sometime in May, will peak out in early June and continue until roughly now, which is in August. We aren't seeing so much grass now. And then starting about mid-August until frost is weed pollens.
Even though many of the ornamentals in our landscapes produce pollen, they are not the cause of most of our allergies.
The glamour pollinators are, as you've stated, honeysuckle, things of this nature, that their pollen so heavy that they're dependent upon insect vectors or carriers to take them from one plant to the next. Again, they're too heavy. If they weren't for insects, they'd fall to the ground, and there would be no pollination. The ones that cause respiratory allergic symptoms, things like ragweed, Bermuda grass, really don't look very showy, but they can get in the air sufficient quantity to cause problems.
The Oklahoma Allergy Clinic collects pollen data for the central Oklahoma area. Pollen samples are collected on small glass rods placed in a centrifuge atop the roof of the clinic. Lab technician Loretta Hinkle explains the process.
We start at 7:30. We prepare the rods for the next 24 hours, take them to the roof, bring the rods from the past 24 hours down, mount them, stain them for 15 to 20 minutes, and then we're ready to count. The rod that was done this morning, we're finding some ragweed, some grass pollen, quite a bit of grass as a matter of fact. We called the information to the Oklahoma News Network. It's faxed to the television stations. The Oklahoma County Air Pollution Control line calls us for the information, and it's recorded on their line for the public to call in.
If you are one of the roughly 25% of Americans who may suffer from allergies, Dr. Bozalis has a few suggestions.
For the most part, unless somebody is really severely afflicted, they can pretty much do what they want to, again, within some boundaries. But certainly pre-treating with whatever medication, if it's asthma, an asthma medicine, or antihistamine decongestant if they have nasal problems. So that's certainly one area, and that can help a lot of people, protecting themselves. And there are these pollen or dust masks that a lot of people are familiar with that you can find in any good pharmacy. There's different brands of these, and just putting them on, they act as very good filters. These are micropore filters. They do a pretty decent job of screening.
Like many of you, I too suffer from allergies. So if I look and sound a little funny over the next few weeks, you'll know why. Well, believe it or not, we have a company here in Oklahoma that collects pollen and other substances to be used in the research of allergies. Ron Dahlgren of OETA's SUNUP program visited with Crystal Laboratories in Luther, Oklahoma.
This bank of freezers contains nearly $500,000 worth of substances that millions of us would like to see wiped off the face of the planet. Allergy-causing pollens, But in this instance, these pollens are beneficial. That's because they're collected to provide the raw material to make allergy test kits and desensitization shots for allergy sufferers.
We collect raw products for asthma and hay fever. In other words, it starts here. This is the area which all treatment of asthma and hay fever starts. We have such as things as probably 500 different items, pollens, mold spores, anything that comes in contact with the body, foods, epidermals. We just more or less sell to the extract labs. In turn, they sell to the allergists. And the allergist is the one that does the testing and treatment for asthma and hay fever.
White operates Crystal Laboratory in Luther and provides allergens to 40% of the open market. The laboratory supplies just about every and any allergy-causing agents, animal hair, fibers from fabric, pollens, molds, even foods which have been dehydrated and defatted.
That's extract the water and oil out. And then what you have is the protein and the carbohydrate type material. From that, we powder it into a powder. You can find anything from powdered watermelon to powdered beefsteak to powdered feathers. Just anything that comes in contact with the body.
And White is currently researching a process to grow another component of the most familiar allergen.
House dust is the number one offender, ragweed being the second. But house dust has always been a problem because it's a mix, and the government does not like a mix being on the market because you can't control the antigenicity of it. You might have a high antigen on one case, next case you won't have any. So what they have done is actually isolate the components in house dust that causes hay fever, and they found it mainly to be a little, it's a spider-like house mite that is microscopic.
White's Crystal Laboratory, which is not open to the public, is the first and perhaps most important step in the process of helping allergy sufferers cope with the things that can make life downright miserable at times. From the OSU Co-op Extension Service, I'm Ron Dahlgren.
We hope you've enjoyed this classic from the Oklahoma Gardening Vault. Remember, even though these tips and techniques are timeless, there's always something new to learn in the world of gardening. By subscribing to both Oklahoma Gardening and OK Gardening Classics, you'll have access to a wealth of gardening knowledge, both classic and contemporary.